Welcome to BusinessWit's Business Tips from our Better Business Results Show. Let's listen to Masra Tech C.O.O. Broussarrd's top technology tips. I'll be back after the clip with your action items for getting the most out of this video.
Your top tips for business owners in the IT space.
The three that I would say are going to be planning for the future, disaster planning, and maintenance. The first one I would talk about would be the planning of this. It's kind of falls, there's a lot of things that fall under planning, but you have to plan for the fact that the technology industry is going to change on average every 18 months. Things are going to get faster, things are going to improve, things are going to change, whether it be your operating system or the software that you're using for your accounting system or your customer relations system. They're going to be upgrading on average once a year, once every year and a half. So you have to be able to plan for that. You have to plan for the education, you have to plan for the budgeting, you have to plan for the changeover that's going to happen, any improvements that you have to do to accommodate those kinds of things.
So you mentioned umbrellas, so that's like one umbrella, right?
Right.
And
that'd be the planning umbrella.
That's the planning umbrella, and from a planning standpoint, I think you got to make sure you give yourself some time to do that, right? Maybe talk to some resources.
Absolutely.
Because we've talked earlier that there's nobody that's an expert in all things technology.
Correct.
It's too big, it's too crazy, and it changes too fast.
Right.
Well, what about the disaster umbrella?
The disaster umbrella is one that sadly gets overlooked quite often until the day that the disaster hits. And then everyone says, woe is me, I wish I would have. But it's imperative. You have to be able to plan for everything here. We live here in California, so you have to plan for an earthquake.
That's the first one that comes to my mind is an earthquake.
Right.
Yeah.
You're going to have to plan for what happens during an earthquake. Your electricity is going to go out. Well, what happens to your computer when the electricity just stops? That's a danger. That things will get damaged that way. So you have to be prepared to have a backup, battery backup.
Yeah, so disaster recovery plan for IT.
Yes.
We can't work without IT. We have to have it. So
your critical backups of not only your centralized server system if you happen to have one, but also of the little items that everyone keeps on their own individual computers. A lot of times those are more critical than people realize until that one station went down. So that really falls back to the planning process as well, as making sure that everybody is keeping their things in the same space so that it does get backed up on a regular basis, and having dual backups, having one locally, one that's off-site. There's so many things that you have to plan for as far as disaster planning that oftentimes it's a bigger umbrella than you realize.
If your technology system goes down, you're kind of out of business.
Yes.
Right? I mean, it's one thing to lose a key employee or to have something, but if you lose the tech system, you're kind of done.
Correct. Or if you have some, for God forbid, you get hacked. What is your response to that? How are you going to respond to that? You need to have some policies in place and some idea of what you're going to do when it happens, instead of trying to scramble to figure it out at the last moment.
Right.
All right, now you've heard what Kira has to say about strategic planning for your IT systems. Here are your action items to get the most out of this video. Number 1. Add an IT line item to your semi-annual strategic planning activity. Number 2, identify the resources you need to have in place to recover from a disaster. And number 3, review your maintenance service agreement every 6 months and make sure you're up to date. Don't forget to put it on your calendar. If you want more information on how to build a plan, see our video series, Turning Ideas into Results. If you still have questions and you want fast answers, you can always post a question on our forum or schedule a call at www.businesswit.com.